Where you are.
We're the reason they put speakers in your car.
You better put your hands in the air.
We are Super FM.
Welcome to yet another Wednesday on your number one family radio station, Super 88.1 FM. My name is Joyce Chooks. Welcome to today's Woman. We've made it one more time. I'm very proud of you for sticking with us and rocking with us. We're almost going to around 3 years of doing the Today's Woman together. I'm so proud of us. Look at how far we've come. Well done. And we started a conversation last week that I promised us we're going to continue. And that was a conversation around shunning abusers. And a lot of us agree that we're going to shun abusers. We had a technical glitch that day. That was the day you were hearing me talking to my colleague. Gossip. You listened. You didn't even say, this is a private conversation. Let me off my radio. You listened. Anyways, we are still going to have that conversation. However, something more troubling has come to the front that made me ask what I consider a very serious question. Now, if you're not, except you're not in Nigeria or you're not on social media, but you most likely saw the young father and young daughter who went viral, I believe, over the weekend, maybe like on Sunday, where he would post, let's call it a spade a spade. Those were sexually explicit photos. Little girl of 3 years old in thongs while he was tagging a porn star and calling the porn star the mentor of this child. And of course, it caused a huge uproar. Shout out to the Edo State government and FIDA, by the way. They stepped in so quickly and they're handling the situation, which makes me happy. Being that I'm a woman in the Edo State, and I know that Edo State has the mechanism and the facilities to handle such cases, and it made me so happy. If you know anything like that happening in your area, the place to go to, you can contact FIDA, you can contact the Nigerian Bar Association, you can go to the Vivian Center, or you can simply walk into the High Court and lay a complaint. It is that easy. However, back in the day, we did not used to do that, or rather, we did not need to do that. If a child was behaving in a certain way, or a parent was doing a certain thing to a child, something that the society frowned upon, people would not need to go to any organization in particular, because back in the day, it still took a community, it still took a village to raise a child. This morning, on What the Honorable has got to say, hope you're listening. My name is Joyce Chooks, by the way, in case I didn't mention that earlier, but I feel like I did. But if I didn't, my name is Joyce Chooks, this is Super FM. Let's jump back into our conversation. We all have heard the saying, it takes a village to raise a child. Today on What the Honorable has got to say, I was discussing with the Honorable and our Head of News and Current Affairs, Israel Adebi, and I was telling them, even before the show, that back in the day, it did take a community to raise a child. Back in the day, if you were doing something, in quote unquote, anyhow, and you thought your mother would not find out, she will. Because they will report you. In fact, before you start doing it, before she comes back, you would have even been disciplined. Growing up, we had that 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 women in our area that you would not forget the part of hiding things from your parents. You would also hide things from those women. Because if they hear, it's a problem, it's an issue. And this whole concept of it takes a village to raise a child is one of the most popular African proverbs. It is so popular that in Oslo in 2018, there was an international conference called It Takes a Village. This conference was put together to show the role of families, societies, government, non-governmental organization in addressing the diverse problems that are involved with raising a child in today's world. What each of us could do, what parents could do, what neighbors could do, what society could do, what NGOs can do, what state actors can do to bring a child in the proper way. Having studied the African model, they realized that it indeed needs more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people to raise a child. We used to have these aproko neighbors, let's call them aproko neighbors, that are willing to go and report you to the police station if they believe you're doing something illegal. In fact, so many young men have gotten in trouble from those African neighbors. And sometimes you will find out that truly these women that made these reports were onto something. If they see your little girl being carried by one uncle into the house, they will raise the alarm. If they see your child doing something, wherever the child is doing something improper, they would raise the alarm. In fact, they would have disciplined the child before the parents came back. And I was talking to people about this. I said, I am not sure that this thing that we had to go and discover on social media, that nobody else in the area did not notice. I could be absolutely wrong. In fact, there were pictures and videos of that little girl in a hotel room with 3-4 men. Somebody came in the hotel room, carried a little girl of 3 years old alongside 3-4 men, and they allowed them to enter the hotel and take a room. They paid and they collected it. A while back, I saw who I can only describe as children. Those kids could not be anything more than 13. And they went to a hotel to try and get a room. If you go on social media, you will see those posts. You see little kids that should not have access to a hotel room in different hotels, left, right, and center. So I'm wondering, what has happened to our village? And the reason why I'm having this conversation on Today's Woman is that this village used to be mostly women. So why has this village deteriorated? Did modernization make it no longer in vogue? Is it that the crimes are not being committed on the internet, so this village no longer has access? Or do we now mind our business too much? Do we just say, wow, and then we'll move on with our lives? Or is it the fault of the new parents? Is it? Somebody was speaking to me one time. Somebody in education, I was going to say academia, but that's big. So education, the person was telling me that parents do not even allow their kids repeat a class anymore. That if you're trying to, maybe a child has failed woefully and you think the child should run the class one more time, that their parents will not agree. And they'll say, when they touch person picking, the mama go verse. You know, they report person, the mama no go take them from you. Is that it? Are parents no longer allowing the community to participate in raising children? Or have we just gotten to a point where it no really concern us? Is the village now missing? Like I said, why I'm having this conversation on Today's Woman is that back in the day, this village, quote unquote, they were mostly made of women. Women that did not know how to mind their business. And it was a good thing. Knowing that there was a way you couldn't dress. There was a way you couldn't walk. There were parties you couldn't attend. Because you knew that those two women in your street, if they caught you, if a child was being treated poorly, that those women, if they hear, everywhere goes spoil. Now, let's not confuse this with us saying that it is women's duties to police people in society. No. It is everybody's duty. But I'm particular about women on Today's Women because I remember that it was a group of women. They were our activists in the time. And I'm wondering what happened to those women. I mean, clearly those particular women I'm referring to, they've gotten older, some may have passed on. But is it society that has eroded our village? Have we gotten to a point where we need to all mind our business to that extent? That decay is now entering society. Call me, talk to me. I want to hear your thoughts. Because me, I don't know why it has happened. I would really love to know. Is it that parents don't accept it anymore? They don't accept it that, you can't talk to somebody's child anymore. Is that it? Have the new parents made it out of fashion, out of style? Or is this how we would love to conduct ourselves as a society? Talk to me. And if you remember those women, let me know as well. The call lines are these, 0812-753-6932 or 0705-512-9881 or 0705-572-7881. You can also send me a text or a WhatsApp, by the way. 0705 967-6881. And finally, I am live on Facebook. I normally say that earlier. I don't know how come I didn't say that earlier. Like usual, like I always say, maybe they boy they fine. When you come to say hi, Muhammad says life has changed. Why? He says, calm down. I can't calm down. I was saying it this morning on what the Honorable has to say. I said, everybody failed that little girl. Is this the way we would like it to be? What happened to the village? We used to have a village of strong-willed women. Those women in particular, clearly, they've gotten older, they've relaxed. What about the new set of village? Did that die after those women? Let's talk. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome, sweetheart. What's your name?
My name is Glory. I'm calling from Bypass.
All right, Glory, talk to me. How do you see it? What's going on in our society? How come we don't have those group of women anymore?
It's just that this our society now we are living in, we don't see people don't cooperate anymore. And if we look at it, by the time we talk, if we want to have the right now to correct someone's child, it's a problem. A child will be going on under press and still yet you still have the right not to correct the child. So by the time you see that this society, the way things are turning to now, we don't really understand because parents don't put trust anymore in their child. Like, they don't show good manners to the child. So for instance, if that child have good parental system, that child will not have been corrupt in that manner. So but for that child, father, it's really, really bad.
It's terrible.
It's really, really bad.
So for you, you believe it's because parents do not allow other people to discipline their kids anymore?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because from my experience, there are some things that I had within right now. But you know that what that child is doing is very bad. For you to have corrected that child, if you look at the child of that parent, is somehow you have to step down because if you are such person, you just have to run from that kind of environment.
Wow. All right. Thank you so much. So she says that this is a problem with parenting. Parents are no longer allowing the village to participate in child rearing. Do you agree? If you just joined us, by the way, welcome. You're on to Super 88.1 FM. This is Today's Woman. And we're talking about the African saying that seems to be dying. It takes a village to raise a child. And this village back in the day, it used to be older women. They were the ones that made that village. But it seems like the village is no longer in vogue. And I want to know why. What happened to the village? Why are we failing our young ones now? What can we do? Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, Judge.
Good afternoon, welcome. What's your name?
I'm Collins. Wonderful hearing your voice on the radio.
Thank you so much for calling me, Collins. Please go ahead.
This topic you brought to the radio today, I was expecting this before today.
Wow.
And I also want to give a commendation to that lady. I am wondering, is that an answer or whatever, but her point was very valid. Those days, I thought about my uncle that late. I wish I could resurrect that dude from the grave. But I was the last one for about 13 children.
Yeah.
And when I grew up, my father and my mother, they were both old. This uncle took it upon himself. Whenever he caught me doing wrong, he seized me, put me on my knee until my parents could come. Those days, I no longer afraid of my parents, but I was afraid of my uncle. And also some other dude were around. The community alone, all alone. Something like that. This thing helps a lot. But right now, let me tell you, just choose. When a 21 years old, 20 years old is building a home to a fraudulent, living by the parents, can this parent talk to the children? The society. You talk about the hotel. How do we check into the hotel? Do you check the age? Do you? Those days, let me tell you, my sister, if you are going to the hotel, they look at you and say, how old are you?
As it should be. As it should be.
As it should be. Are you getting what I'm saying right now? These days, 15 years old, We rent a hotel for 1 month. The hotel management will speak no stop because they are just after money. But if you want to talk about the whole side of the children, we have to borrow from that those days as the community, the environment, everybody is involved. This is how we are going to monitor the situation of the young kids. And I think if we do this, there's going to be an improvement. God bless you for this program.
Thank you so much for calling me. Hello, good afternoon. Hello? All right, if you just joined us, welcome. This is Today's Woman, and we are talking about the phrase, it takes a village to raise a child. Who is the village? The village is society, the village is community, the village is older men and women that would not sit idly by and watch a child go astray. They would not sit idly by and let unreasonable behaviors fly, even without the child's parents being available. But it seems like we have lost the village. So I'm asking, how did we lose the village? My last caller mentioned that part of his own village was an uncle. A lot of them that I knew, they were just like, oh, this particular woman, as a child, I hated this woman. You could not successfully do any nonsense and she will catch you. I don't even know how she catches us, but she will catch you. And God help you, she sees your parents before you. What your eye will see that day. And there were a number of them. They were older women. They were in charge. But now the kind of things that we see and everybody just turns a blind eye. What is happening to our village? What has happened to our village? That is what I want to know. What do you think has happened to our village? Hello, good afternoon. What's going on this line? Hello, can you hear me?
Hello.
Okay, welcome. I can hear you now. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome. What's your name? Where are you calling us from?
Jose from Benin.
All right, Jose, talk to us. What do you think is the problem?
Actually, the problem started from this one generation. Not the older generation, should I use the word older? Not as if it was never modernized the way it was now, the way it is now. And then, those older women that normally do their makeup stuff, they are still available. But just they are now making it in a more special way that instead of them to tell you or discipline your child, they make it as a gossip.
That's what they do now. They just gossip. Boss, is it really helping? Is the gossip helping?
Instead of them to discipline the child, they put it as a gossip to other of their fellow members. And thirdly, these mothers, these generation mothers, they are too young to be called mothers. And they are too young to be called fathers. You as a father, you don't have the experience of being a fatherhood. Being the father that girls are so many in the country, you just jump into marriage without no experience of being a father, not a mother. So I won't say the women are still there. Because most of them they are minding their business in order not to cause quarrel. That's what I can say.
I agree
and for the one that took the baby to do something and for whatever, that man should be definitely be disciplined one, and it should be probably just for some time. That should serve as a lesson to.
It's child exploitation. It is a crime.
It should serve as a lesson too, because we have so many fathers like that. We have so many mothers that take the wrong path as their child's role model. That's just the simple truth.
Thank you so much.
Things are easily buy. They're easily bought than before. Imagine a child not up to 18 giving the parents money, and the parents will accept it with all mind. What do you expect to tell that child tomorrow that that child will listen to you? So the whole world has gone to a point that it has been corrupted.
It is well. Thank you so much for calling me. Much appreciated. 1 p.m. You just joined us. We are talking about the village. It takes a village to raise a child. Where is our village? Have we destroyed our village? Can people still come up and say, this child is misbehaving, let me step in? This child's father is not there, let me step in. Or is it the best we can do now is gossip? Because we are afraid the person no go like him. Is our chasing of individuality killing our village? Like I said earlier, the phrase, it takes a village to raise a child, is a very popular African proverb. So popular that there was an international conference in Oslo, Germany in 2018 to adapt the concept of taking a village to raise a child. And the conference, it was agreed that more state actors, NGO, non-state actors, they had to come together for children in adversity, for families in adversity to help. So if it was so good that it was adopted on a global scale, why are we losing it? We, the originators, where have we gone wrong? Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Welcome. What's your name? Where are you calling us from?
Yeah, this is Fortune. Going from South Bay Road.
Welcome, Fortune.
Yeah. I think in early days, in my time, I don't know, in the 80s or the 90s, I was born there.
Even
so
in the 2000s, it happens.
Okay, yeah, thank you. In 2000, it happened. But now, because my dad always told, it takes a community to raise a child. And a child cannot survive without a heart for the adults. But right now, things have really changed. Because I remember when I was growing up, I was the only son, family of 4 girls. So, you know, that kind of thing. Our mom always trying to raise us like a meat, treat us like a meat, and try to spoil us because we're only child. Only son, sorry. So that thing abide in me now. I was trying to act anyhow. So, but thank God for the community I was from. Thank God for the village that was still existing then. It was like, because my dad doesn't have this macho kind of thing, like, cannot do some things. Doesn't mean that he's not a man, but the other men will just take it from them. I don't know if you understand.
Yeah.
So that thing helps me till today now. There are things that are supposed to be abiding. There are things that are supposed to be a drug, something, maybe taking drugs or being a cultist today. But because of that way they raised me up, that thing has shaped me today. You understand what I'm saying? But right now, if you get some kind of children that is acting some weird or misbehaving, you want to beat them. Like, your mother will come out, I believe my picking for me.
Not kill her for me, not kill her for me.
Not kill her for me, I beg. You know, I said, I beg, leave him. If he's poor, leave him. Just leave him like that. So the thing has become a pandemic. And people are thinking it's normal. And it's not normal. It's not normal. It's affecting the children right now. Look at the way, because the Bible says, train up a child the way it should grow. And when it's old, it will not be depart from me. Sometimes it may be difficult for you to raise it as a parent, and both parents. But when the community, even in your house, because then when we are growing up, it's face me and fix you. I was telling my people, I say, face me and fix you is not the problem. It's people inside is the problem. Do you understand? So it depends on the people in the community, in the environment. So if you cannot raise your child, let people raise it in a good way. It's not that when they'll flog them, they'll come and say, how you flog my people? Even in school, if you flog your children from school and you came to report, my sister, you know the story. Their parents will walk to that school that next day, even fight the teachers. It happens. Nowadays, in my time, it doesn't happen. You cannot let us open our mouth, say teacher flog us or anything. Because of our wrongdoing. So things just change. So even the government should come to it and help us. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. Much appreciated. 1:23 p.m. Today's Wednesday, the 15th of May. My name is Joyce Chooks. We're on to today's woman, and we're talking about our village that we seem to have lost. If I'm just going to give you a bit of a catch up, we were all there when we saw the page on Instagram that went viral. I don't even know if they brought down the Facebook version because there were 2 of it. It went viral because it was clear child. I don't even know to be politically correct, I don't know the term to use. We saw a child who was under 4 years old in thongs dancing on the internet with grown men. They don't even make baby tongues. It doesn't exist. You can see the tongue falling from her tiny waist. And in some of the videos and some of the pictures, I saw she was in a hotel with these men. And I'm like, you are at the reception. And 3 young men come in with a baby. And you gave them a room. As what? You go on TikTok, you go on Instagram, you see these videos, these reels. You see kids that should be in GSS2. They're lodged in one hotel or the other. Doing what? I don't know. I know we are out to make money as a business, but not all money is good money. What part are you playing? Why have we lost our village? It takes a village to raise a child. The entire village now is like it's not working. Where is the village? The village was never one person. It was your school. It was your teachers at school. It was your very, very nosy neighbors. It was those women that will have, smacked you on your bum before your mommy came back. It was those women that simply could not mind their businesses. Anything you did, they would have reported you to your mother. In short, when your mother even come back, she can even ask them, say, Una don't discipline her for me. And let me tell you, as kids, we hated those women. We could not stand them. But they saved us for so much danger from them not minding their business. Have we now started minding our business too much? Are we saying that nobody in that little girl's society, in her community, in the village, nobody in that area knew that this thing was happening? Or were we all just minding our business? Even before the page was discovered by the activists that discovered it, the page had followers. They were liking the picture, they're writing cute under. Nobody in that circle thought, no, this thing don't make sense. So what we go do? Why have we lost our village? Where is our village? Where are those Aproko women? One of our callers said that some of these men are too young to be fathers. But if you think back, ask your father when he got married. That man was 22 years old. At least his very first marriage. I know they used to marry some later. The very first one. And do you know that marriage also involved the community? Before we started to date and have boyfriend, we can't date now. We can't like on ourselves 3 years. Before we used to do that, it still required a community to get married. Your family will consult a few families. They will do investigation. Your uncles will do investigation. Your aunties will do investigation until they found the person that they think, yes, this family is a good family, it's from a good home. Let us marry into this family. The community was still involved. And I'm all for child protection. We need to protect more children. But are we losing ourselves in the process of protecting more children? No touch my pikin. A teacher was telling me the other time that they no longer have the power to make kids repeat classes. That if their kids do really, really bad, the parents will not allow for the child to repeat the class, to learn all over again. That the child will be ashamed. Me, I don't want the child to be ashamed as well. But what good are you doing that child? And there were many of us that had learning difficulties back in the day. There was dyslexia. If you're even saying don't repeat the child, let us go and get professional help, it's a different case. You're not helping the child in any way. The child cannot read in primary school. Have you considered getting the child a tutor? Have you considered taking the child for some tests? Let's say they had a learning difficulty. You didn't do that. But your kid cannot be made to sit down and relax and learn some more. You will not allow it. If your neighbors tell you your child has been badly behaved, you will not allow it. Why are we eroding our community? I have less than 2 minutes on the clock. I want us to really think about it. Why have we lost our village? Are the new set of villagers in quote here, it is me and you, the new adults, the new mommies and daddies, the new neighbors. Are we letting our village die? Are we leaving children unprotected? Are we watching children, little kids, go astray? And doing nothing because we have to mind our business? Has minding our business gotten to this extent? And like one of our callers said, those people are still there, they just gossip now and leave it at that. We can go more than gossip. We can do more than say, now, wow. We are the new village. You and I, we are the new village. We are the new older people. We are the new adults. We are the new parents. There are requirements and responsibilities. Please. Let us not mind our business when evil is being done. It is our turn. Our parents have done their own. It is our turn. You and I, we are the new village. We are the new all those women that they don't like because the women used to report too much. Let us be those women. Let us stop failing our children. The time is now. Too much damage has already been done. Let us start fixing. Our time is fast spent. So thank you for joining me on this conversation. We needed to have it. Please, let our village not die. My name is Joyce Chooks. This is Super 88.1 FM, #1 family radio station. And this has been Today's Woman. I'm back up again next week, Wednesday. And I think I have a special guest for you, but I'm going to keep it between you and I for now. Stay there.
Don't forget to smile.